Hello guys, now in today's video I'll be explaining to you how disoccupazione payment actually work here in Italy. That is for those of you that have the intention of doing disoccupazione, so that you have an idea of how much you may be receiving if you do disoccupazione, which is unemployment benefit. But before I explain to you, I want to quickly make a correction to the video I did about 2 days ago, where I explained 3 ways you will be qualified to apply for disoccupazione. And I said in that video that at times, if you are tired in your place of work and you feel like resigning, that you can go and resign yourself and look for somebody else that would write a new contract for you. It could be domestic contract, it could be any of your friends could write domestic contract for you. Husband can write for wife, wife can write for husband. That if you work for 1 month, 2 months, the person can go and cut that contract, then you'll be qualified to apply for disoccupation. That was what I said. But that is actually not too correct, because they later changed the law this year, 2025. Now, if you resign yourself and you get a new job, maybe your wife wrote a contract for you, or your friend, anybody wrote a new contract for you, before you be qualified for disoccupazione, you must have worked for a minimum of 13 weeks, which is equivalent to about 3 months and 1 week. So that was the mistake I made. I said 1 month contract, 2 months contract. No, you must work for at least 13 weeks before you will be qualified again for disoccupazione. So after 13 weeks, the person can then go and cut the contract. Then you will now go and apply for disoccupazione. Now, how does this payment of disoccupazione actually work? Now, what they calculate is the job that you did for the last 4 years. So whether you worked in 20 companies, it does not matter. So they will calculate all the contribution that you have paid for the last 4 years. They will put it together. So let's say you work for 4 years or you work for 20 years, you resign, you got another new job again, plus that new job, plus everything that you have worked together before, they put it together and they only take the last 4 years from it. So that last 4 years, they will divide it by 2, which is now 2 years. So your disoccupazione, they will only pay you for 2 years. So if they put everything together for the last 4 years and they discover that in this last 4 years you only worked for about 3 years total, they will divide it. 3 years divided by half will be 1 year and 6 months. So they will only pay you for a year and 6 months. So that's how it totally work. All the work that you have worked for the last 4 years divide by 2. Whether it is 1 year that you have worked, it is 2 years that you have worked, they will divide it by 2. That is the duration of time that they will pay you this occupation. So how does the payment work? Now, if your salary that you have been receiving every month is around between €1 to about 1,425 euros, so what they are going to be paying you is 75% of that money. So let's say your salary is 1,000 euros. 75% of 1,000 euros is 750 euros. So that is what you'll be receiving every month. Although there's a place that amount will get to, the amount will start reducing, will start going down, which I will also explain. So any amount that you receive, they put all this money together and they divide it and do the whole calculation and discover that if they spread it, your salary is not more than 1,425 euros, they are going to be paying you 75% of that amount. So somebody can say, "Okay, but my salary is more than that amount. My salary is 1,006, or my salary is 2,000 euro, or 2,002, whichever amount your salary is." So let's say your salary is 1,006. How would they do the calculation in this instance? So what they will do, first of all, they will remove 1,425 euros from that amount, from that 1,006, and they will bring out 75% from it. So which is 1,068 euro. So they will leave it one side. Then the remaining one, whether it is 1,000 that is remaining, whether it's 500 that is remaining, like in this case of 1,006, the amount that will be remaining is about 175 euro. So this 175 euro, they will now remove 25% from it and add it to that first one. So any amount that is remaining, whether it is 500, after they have removed 1,425 euro, any amount that is not remaining, they will only take 25% from it and add it to the first amount. So they remove 25% from this amount now, it will be 43 euro 69 cents. So if they put everything together, your salary will now be, your disoccupation will now be 1,111 euro if you are receiving 1,006 every month. If that was your salary, so this is what you'll be receiving as your disoccupation, 1,111 euros. Now, if you are not up to 55 years old, if you are not up to 55 years old as a person, They will be paying you this 1,111 euro for the first 6 months. So after 6 months, the money, they will now start removing 3% from this money. So from the seventh month, they will remove 3%, the money will go down. 8 months, they will remove 3%, depending on the duration of time, the years that you are going to receive this disoccupation. I told you, if they will calculate 4 years and divide it by 2. So if you worked for that full 4 years, meaning they are going to pay your disoccupation for 2 years. So if you only work for 3 years, meaning they'll divide, they're only going to pay you for a year and 6 months. So let's say you are receiving it for a year and 6 months. So after the 6th month, they will start removing 33%. So the money will start going down until it gets to that a year and 6 months. If your own is 2 years, until it gets to that 2 years. That's for those that are not more than 50 years old. So if you are more than 50 years old, your own, they will start paying you this 1,111 euro for the first 8 months. So from the ninth month, the money will now start reducing or start removing 333% for until it gets to the end. Whether you are receiving it for the 1 year, from the 8th month, from the ninth month, it will start reducing. So that's how they actually do the calculation for this occupation here in Italy. So if there's anything you still don't understand, you can put it in the comment section, and please don't forget to share this video so that you get to as many people as possible. And make sure you also click on the subscribe button or the follow button, because as the followers grow, I will also be encouraged to do more this type of video for you. And before I continue, please don't forget to use tap send. That happens to be the best app everybody are now using to send money to Nigeria. If you put my promo code Heroes TV, they will dash you €5 in your first transaction. You can get tap send from Apple Store or from Play Store. Thank you and God bless you.